Hello? Any sound now? Can you guys hear me now? No, I told you. I mean, well, you didn't get to hear me, but what I was saying is that I messed up something happened to my computer settings. I don't know what happened. Okay, can somebody tell me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you. I was just waiting for somebody to tell me so I could, go on from that. All right. So that was another setting that got messed up. I honestly don't know what happened. Technology, when it works, works great. And when it doesn't, it sucks. And this is one of those sucky moments. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. We're rolling through this Debruary. I'm telling you, it's just like click, 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 click. I have a pre-recorded show that's going to go live tomorrow that's talking about emotional, uh, what did I call it? Well, anyway, it talks about the work that you give emotionally to other people that you don't get paid for, you don't get any recognition for. And then on Thursday, I was going to do a panel on femininity, but I couldn't get enough people to do it. So you know what I'm going to do? I've been noticing that there's been a lot of questions and weird comments in the chat streams, in uh, the chat dialogue and on the wall. I'm going to be going over some of those to clarify that because if I let it go too long, I'll forget. So I'm going to on Thursday. That's what we're going to do. Clear up a whole bunch of stuff. So if you guys have any questions that you would want to get answered on that Thursday show, this is not advice, but it's a comment or a question about something that you've seen on since you've been watching Debruary. That's what I'm going to be addressing. We'll probably only be here about an hour or so, but I do want to make sure that I, handle that. Oh, and look at the video. I don't know what to do. This is just a hot mess. But anyway, let's move on. You're suffering from compassion fatigue. Imagine how I feel. It's like, oof. Okay, let's get started here since I wasted so much time on technical difficulties. Let's see how many questions we have. Oh, we're back to 22. I thought we was trying to cut back since it was a video a day, but I guess somebody just don't care. And that somebody is Candace. That somebody is a dear, maybe used to be cousin of mine. Might have to fire her from the cousin trip. All right. Yeah, I think it's a good idea too, Ash, because there's just too many of them. And I'm like, okay, I can't let this slide. These people got confused. They're confused. All right, let's move on to question number one of What the Fuck Tuesday. This is the advice column where people send in their questions in advance, and I answer them live on the air during this show. That's what this broadcast is every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So this woman in the 30 to 36 age group from Calgary, Canada, says, "Hey, Deb, I need your opinion on something. I've been dating this guy for about 2 months now. We have a lot in common and get along well. The first few dates were nice, and he brought up marriage and kids. Oh, did he now? He said he wanted to eventually marry again. He's been married before and have a child soon. He has no children within a year since he is older than me. He said he didn't want to be an old dad. This was music to my ears since I too wanted to get married and have a child. Well, based on this, we decided to go exclusive since I would only go exclusive with a man that wanted marriage and kids like I do. However, for the last few weeks, this man has slowly but surely changed his story. Of course, he has. Now he says that marriage isn't necessary, that two people can commit to one another and love each other without marriage, that the piece of paper is false security, and that it just creates more problems than it's worth. He believes two people can build a life together without the need for marriage. And then he says that if he did decide to marry someone, he would have to date her for at least 3 years, and that it takes that long to get to know someone and be sure. I told him I disagreed. He also says now that he isn't sure he wants to have children. So at this moment, I find myself in an exclusive relationship with someone who doesn't share my timetable or my dream to marry and try to have a child. I don't have 3 years to wait around for a man to marry me and start a family. And she's in the 30 to 36 age group. Okay. And even if I didn't want kids, I don't think it's necessary to date someone for that long before you get married. I think if you know that the person is the one, you will know it in 1 year or so. Why drag it out and date for so long needlessly? Do you think I'm wrong for being unrealistic? Is 3 years necessary to truly know if the person is the one? Should I continue to date him exclusively knowing now what I know about him? Or should I break it off? You should get rid of his dusty bum behind. Let me tell you about this game that he ran. what you gonna call this, the love bomb or some term they have. But basically, what I call it is the full court press. Way before this new term came out, I've been calling it that for decades. And so they come in, they Mr. Perfect, honey. Oh, all your fairy godfather dreams is about to come true. Every kind of situation that you imagine would be perfect for your life now, here in the future, he's gonna say, yeah, 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 me too, me too. They always say that. And those of you who are really anxious for this kind of thing and don't understand that you're supposed to be taking your time to make sure his words match his action before you get caught up, you get just bite, just like a fish on a worm that's on a hook. You take a big old bite and then you realize that the worm was rotten and you got tricked. And so that's what's going on here. And this guy is a dusty bum. So what you need to do is tell him, well, it's become obvious that after only 2 months that we're on different pages in different books. I want something that you're not willing to provide me. So there's no point in me wasting even another second of my time with you, sir. Goodbye, good luck, and good riddance. That's what you say to dude. And then you be like, peace out. Right, ladies? I'm just like, I mean, even messing around with him trying, dating other people was stupid. Because, see, you might meet the dude who really does want what you want and he's ready to go. And you're going to have to go and tie up loose ends with some old dusty bum that you didn't really want to be with in the first place. So, why would you even waste your time having him around? Just get rid of him altogether. I don't like that bit and piece stuff. It's one thing if you dating multiple dudes trying to figure out which one is cool. That's different. But this one has already told you that he's not what you want. So, there's no point in continuing to spend any time with him. You just meet a couple of dudes and you dating them to find out where they are on, on your plan. That's a different thing. And that is what you should do. That's a healthy, sane, and sensible way to date. But once they show you that they're not the kind of person that you're looking for, they don't have the same goals, they don't have the same interests, they don't have the same morals, values, lifestyle choices, whatever it is that's grossly different from yours, you get rid of them. You don't waste any time with them. So you call him up. You don't even need to do this face to face. Just call dude up or basically just send him behind the text and say, oh, I'm out. And that's it. That's all you got to say. He'll know what time it is. He's not trying to be with you anyway. That's why he's talking all this smack about marriage and all this old stuff, trying to break it off easy. What a dusty bum. Bid him farewell. As that young lady said a couple of weeks ago, ever since she wrote hints in that letter like 10 times, every time I be talking to people now, I say, hints, hints, I'm leaving you. Okay, this is a good time to use hints. Let's move on to question number 2 because I can feel myself getting silly. Female, 21 to 26, no location. The guy I'm currently dating for 4 months, canceled our weekend Valentine's Day. Oh, no, 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 no. Because he wanted to have his own time. He then called me to explain the reasons and that they were being that missed being on his own and that dating took a lot of work for him. He's also unsure about his feelings towards us because we don't have many things in common or share any interests. I reminded him that we are two different people, so differences are normal and will always be there. It's not necessary for couples to have shared interests to get along, but when two people decide to date each other, it means they're willing to compromise. So I asked him if he wanted to stop seeing me, and he said he would still love to see me and see how things go because even though we have many differences, he still thinks I'm a great girl with a great personality. In fact, we're meeting tomorrow to talk further about things. I thanked him for his honesty. He appreciated my understanding. Cave in. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. My questions: was he just being polite, asking to meet up when he actually wants to break up? Is this guy worth waiting for, or do I want to win him back? What should I say or do? Win him back? What is this, a contest? Girl, you don't win men back. They come on their own 2 feet, on their own energy, or they don't come at all. So y'all be going through all these hoops and jumping around and flipping around trying to, quote, keep a man and all this old stuff. You're doing too much. Sit your butt down somewhere. When a man tells you some mess like this, the first thing is Valentine's Day is the day for lovers. If you have a man who canceled plans with you on Valentine's Day, in my book, that's a breakup. Okay, because every man on this planet from the age of 5 knows the importance of Valentine's Day to most women. Not all, but most. And the fact that you two had plans for that shows that it was important to you. Okay. So he just gonna break it up talking about I need time to myself. Let me give you some time. As a matter of fact, look at your calendar and just go and that's all the time that you're going to be getting away from me. Oh my God, just years and years and years, honey, because I'm done. We're through. That's all you need to say. You don't want to show up on Valentine's Day, hence, we are broken up. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. But it is true that you don't have to have the same interests as your partner. This is a discussion I had with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago. She thought that you need to be able to do everything together and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, you know how boring that would get in about 10 minutes. I don't want to have the same interest as my man. I want him to be interested in what I do. Like I'll be interested in what he does, so we can sometimes do each other, do things with each other and talk about our hobbies and interests and all this stuff. But do I need to go everywhere with him like we're Siamese twins or vice versa? No, I want to have something interesting to talk about. Take your cell phone over there somewhere and do your thing. Come back and tell me about it. I'm gonna do the same. I don't want to do everything that you do. That would be so freaking boring. It's like looking at myself in a mirror, except it looks like a dude. Who wants that? I mean, it's nice if you have some things that you can do together. Like maybe you both like cooking. I don't know. You both like to work out at the gym. I mean, there has to be at least one thing that you guys enjoy doing together. But do you have to have all your similar hobbies and interests and everything for the relationship to work? Absolutely not. That's a fallacy. And anybody who's telling you that is a Klingon type that just suck all the life out you like a vampire. They don't want to be, by themselves, not even for 1 second. Ugh, ugh, give me the willies. Okay, let's see. Plus, you only was dealing with dude for 4 months. Come on now. It's not like it was 4 years and y'all was married or something. Question number 3, female, 26 to 29 out of Cincinnati. I've been dating my boyfriend for a little over 10 months. When we first got together, he told me he has 2 daughters, which didn't really bother me because I have 3 kids of my own. Few months into, dang, you 26 to 29, you already got 3 kids? A few months into the relationship, he told me the youngest one wasn't really his. She is actually one of his friend's daughter. What? At first, it didn't bother me, but he is also paying support and taking her every other weekend. But seems more and more I get irritated on the fact that he is paying support and raising a child that's not his. He has also gone behind my back and sent the ex wife money for a car. I try to talk to him and let him know how I feel about it, but he gets mad and storms off. Am I wrong for feeling that he shouldn't be taking a child and paying for a child that's not his? Am I wrong for feeling it's not his responsibility? I didn't get into this relationship to raise another woman's child. That's not my boyfriend's kid. Girl, you need to kick your own ass all up and down the street. You aren't married to this man. What he does with his money is his business, not yours. You got some shit all kind of twisted. You got your nose knee deep in dude's business. That's why he walks off because to keep from cussing you out. He's trying to be nice, and you don't get it. You don't. What he does with his money is no. As long as he pays his, y'all living together is what it sounds like. Long as he pays his part of the bills, it don't matter if he goes up and down the street throwing his money in the air. Okay, that's his choice. That's his money. You don't worry about other people's business. And if it's not some situation that you want to be bothered with, then you just walk away. You don't sit there bitching and moaning about what some grown ass man does with his money. Who are you? I you good, because if I was him, I would have been cussed you out so bad you would have been folded up on the floor in all kind of puddles of tears. And after I got you straight about trying to tell me what to do with my money, and I'm gonna tell you a secret, you need to break up with him because if that's not his kid, men feel about kids the way they feel about the kid's mama. Now a lot of people don't want to accept that, but it's true. If that man loves that woman, that kid that's not allegedly not his, he gonna want to do everything he can to be in her good graces and be around her in any way, shape, or form that he can. That's why he gets that little girl. Of course, the other reason is a lot less savory. And since you have 3 kids, that would be really like a really, really, really bad thing. Y'all know what I'm trying to get at here. But let's just nice and let's hope that that's not the case and that he's doing it because he still has an emotional tie to that child's mama. And him saying it's not his kid, I don't believe that for a minute. I don't believe it. It's probably one of them things where he this is supposed to be the friend's baby, but he was dibbing and dabbing with that too, and he could see the resemblance of what the kid looked like him, and so he knows it's his kid. She knows it's his kid. The only one who don't know his kid is the friend, but the friend probably knows too, but he don't want to say. So I'm thinking it's probably one of them kind of situations because those happen a lot with trifling people. But anyway, take your kids and get out, get away from this fool, because he ain't into you. He into whoever that woman is. Question number 4, female, 37 to 45 in Thousand Oaks, California. I'm 42 and I've been dating a 39-year-old guy for about a month and a half. So that's what, about 6 weeks. We have seen each other once or twice a week for dinner and drinks, and we also spent all day and night together one Saturday, which was so fun. Okay, so one day, whole day together in 6 weeks. He has 2 children and is divorced over a year ago. He said he is a one-woman man and is only dating me. Okay, sounding good. I just told him last week that I am only dating him. He proceeded to say that he doesn't care if I date other guys. And basically, the reason he's only dating me is because he has kids and has no other time to look for some. Woo! Deb, should I continue with this guy? I'm looking for something more serious eventually, but I'm not sure if he is ready. Okay, I don't know about you, but if I'm only dating some guy and I'm feeling like it's going in a, for me anyway, it's going in a serious direction, then and somebody tells me I'm only with you because I don't have no other options for my time, I would be rather through and I'd be rather out from that situation. I mean, it's great that he's so honest. You know what I mean? I always appreciate when a man tells you what the real deal is and doesn't beat around the bush. So I'm not mad at him for that. So before everybody think, that's not what I'm talking about. I appreciate when men are like this. But what again, I'm going to repeat this as I have for the 100 millionth time. If a man's not giving you the relationship that you want, you leave him alone. And in a case like this guy saying, I don't care if you date other guys, is like he's putting a lot emotional distance. I don't know if it's hurt because he's afraid to, be committed and wrapped up with you and thinking that you might cheat on him or something, or if he just really doesn't care. But either way, there's a wall up now. So no matter what the reason is, there's a wall up which makes him emotionally unavailable. That's what I'm trying to get at. So you wanting something that's deep and rich and long lasting and that has a future, he's telling you you're not going to find it here. So if you just want to kick it with him, because you don't have nothing else to do, you can do that. But don't invest the emotions in him because he's not going to invest it in you. That's the bottom line here. All right. Yeah, he's a double dose with Dusty. I just love Leandra. She crazy. She cray, but that statement right there is true. Question number 5, female, 26 to 29 out of Houston. Okay. Hey, Auntie Deb. I love your no nonsense advice and your fiery personality. So here's my situation. I have been single for almost 10 years, but recently started a relationship with a middle school crush that suddenly appeared in my life after 13 years. Oh. Well, we don't know if he said it to her face. It might have been on the phone, but might have been by text. We don't know how he said it. We just know that it was communicated. Okay, so after 13 years, dude just magically shows up. The connection is strong and passionate, like how it was when we were kids. So, as I said, I've been single for a long time and he was married. This is where it gets weird. When we were catching up, he semi explained to me what happened with him and his ex, that she tried to change him, and when it didn't work, she cheated on him and started withholding eggplant. He told me that she didn't work most of their marriage. He took care of her, the house, and the children. He says they don't really get along much. Mind you, he has a 10-month-old baby with her. So he just moved in his own apartment, and he told me a few days before his ex needed a place to stay and that he was going to let her move in to keep the peace. And I honestly felt sad. I felt hurt and said I would back off. She's like typed this like she's texting with, not spelling all the words out. So that's why I'm struggling here. He assured me it's only temporary and has no intention in getting back with her. IDK, you guys, please write properly, please, about that because as a baby mama myself, I know that guys will say one thing to other women, but still be entertaining a child's mother romantically. I've always been independent with receiving help with my children via family and friends. I've not once let it cross my mind to ask to live with my child's father when I lost my job, especially knowing that my baby daddy still has feelings for me and I don't want anything with him of a romantic nature. As long as my little ones are safe and comfortable, I would find myself a place to stay. But that's just me. So, how should I go about this situation? Should I be patient and see how it plays out? Explain to him that this is making me feel uneasy or stay but date other people. Thanks, Deb. No, he's still married. He's still married. He's trying to play a little mind games to test you. He's running the whole test right now. And he never did move into his own place. He's been there with her all along. So either, they had the place all together or it was her place that he moved in with her. It's one of them two. And but the bottom line is no matter which one it is, I don't care if he moved in with, Mother Teresa. He living with a woman. Okay? He's living with a woman that he's, has kids with. As recently as gave birth, as recently as less than a year ago. And they're still in an emotional connection with each other. Anything that he's doing with you, you just a side chick. Because that, men don't let women that they don't care about move in with them like that. Okay, I'm just trying to be delicate and honest here with you. So you are putting yourself in a situation. If you keep dealing with dude, you're playing yourself because he's talking about you know, there's what did he say? Let me not lie on dude. Let's see. She was okay. She tried to change me, and she cheated on me, and then she didn't give me no booty, and I was doing all the work, and this and that, and they don't get along. Okay, so anyway, whatever. They always come up with some sad song and dance. But he's still married to this woman. They're living together. Cut things off immediately. Put him on block on every source that you can. Don't say goodbye and don't be bothered. Okay? There's no point in that. He's a bum. It's like a double layered dust mask. I'm telling you, I knew it was going to be some drama. I stopped at the liquor store. I tried to find something a little stronger, but I thought, no, maybe I shouldn't do that. One of my friends gave me a bottle of Hennessy the other day, but I don't want to drink it yet. I want to save that for the weekend. No, he's not single. He's still married. He said he was married. He had all his excuses about why, they was breaking up because of all what she did. She didn't do those things. That's him. Dust magnet. Yeah, they always try to play that sympathy game. You know what I mean? I've met one dude in my entire life, and I've been all over the world. One guy who was so straight up such a player. He just like, and I was just ear hustling. I just happened to see him. He was fine. I mean, all the women were looking at him, right? It's in Jeffrey's Inner Circle in Oakland, and I don't know how many years ago this was. And they had like these pillars, right? It's very old style, old San Francisco looking, Victorian decorated. And so he leaned up against this pillar, right? And this girl walks by. She's like, how are you today? And he's like, I'm fine, and this and that. So he's like, well, what brings you out? Oh, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm just trying to have a good time. He said, yeah, me too. And I'm just here because I just want to, I want to. He says, are you down with that? And she just looked at him for a minute, and then she said, okay, and they left. I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. That hadn't been talking. They hadn't been talking 60 seconds. But I'm telling you, that was the finest man that I've seen in a long time. He was tall, he was dark, he was chocolate, and he was just cut. Just he had it going on. So he's like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. And she's thinking about. I could see her eyes like. Then she decided she was too, and then they left. So it's a rare man who has that kind of game and who got that kind of heat where he could pull a woman just like that. I haven't seen anything like that before or since. But I'm telling you, dude was smoking hot. And any woman in that club, maybe not that instant, but eventually he could have got everybody. And because I'm over there. But he just looked like a garden tool, so I wasn't really that interested. But I was just checking him out, his persona, The way he carried himself, the way he looked at people, his grooming, his clothes. I mean, dude was just on point on every single level. And he just, he had all the women's attention. He didn't have to do anything, just say anything. He just had it just because of the way that he looked and carried himself. So, like I said, that's the only time I've ever in my life seen that. And I've been everywhere. Who is this talking about you haven't seen me? I don't want to see you either. You trying to blind me. Get out of here. All right, question number 6, female, 26 to 29. I've been dating a guy for a while. Things are good, but there are some things that have just made me apprehensive. He has talked a lot about his exes from the very beginning. Details I'm not really interested in. Holidays they did together, how they met. Even humble bragging about his stamina and how satisfied his women were, how devastated they've been since he ended it with them, saying they would never meet a man as awesome as him ever again. It's just so unnecessary. Wait a minute, let me just stop right here. And you sat there and listened? Why would you do that? I don't want to hear some man talk about some other bitch. Let me tell you that if they talking about some other bitch, that means they thinking about some other bitch. In which case, you ain't thinking about me. So there's no room for two women here in this house, in this bed, in this car, in this at this dinner table. No, I don't want to hear about that. On the phone, no, 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 no. You're supposed to be talking about me. You ain't talking about me. This conversation's over. But let me finish reading this nonsense. I am also surprised by some things on display in his apartment. Firstly, he has a lot of things pinned on the walls, from concert tickets and drawings from his children to travel memorabilia and art posters. And then there's so many postcards, letters, and notes on display, not just from friends and family, but from former girlfriends as well. Oh. In his kitchen, living room, guest room, home office, there's a photo calendar and ex made for him. Intimate love letters, quite a lot of love notes from his exes, and at least 2 long letters from a close female friend who's quite obviously spitting with him. I asked him about it, and he confirmed that she is indeed in love with him, and that she knows it can never be more than a friendship. The only room free of ex related memorabilia is the bedroom. In there, he's keeping a couple of cards that I've given him and a gift from me, and he's even printed and framed a photo of me and him on his nightstand. He says he keeps the things most precious to him in the bedroom. He seems to be serious and has moved the relationship quite fast. I've even had to put the brakes on a few times. I just don't understand the need to decorate his walls with things from previous relationships. Today we had our first argument because he thinks I don't make him enough of a priority. I was staying the night, and though we had resolved things before we went to sleep, but then he woke me up at the break of dawn because he was still agitated about it. After we talked for a while, he got out of bed and placed a cup with an inscription in my hand. Turned out it was a gift from a female friend who he used to work with who has feelings for him. I asked him why he showed me the gift, and he said that some women really appreciate him and would love to be with him. It made me beyond frustrated. We're supposed to have a dinner date tomorrow, but I feel uneasy about it because of the things mentioned. What should I do? What? Girl, you just too passive. Let me put a cup with some bitch gave you in my hand and watch how fast that shit crashes against the wall. That's me. You're not playing these games with me. I'm going to bust this shit into a million smithereen pieces. Now you pick all that shit up and glue it together and see what kind of cup you can make out of this. Motherfucker. I wish I would. Oh, he's so narky, it's just ridiculous. His picture's in the dictionary under it. And you just sit up there being all passive about this. First of all, how could you let somebody play this game on you? Don't you know he switches them pictures depending upon who's coming up in the bedroom? I know because I used to play that game myself. You just have a stash of pictures and stuff. You swap that shit out. You have like 10. You could go to some place and buy them frames, 3 or 4 in a pack. Just put pictures in it. Then when so and so come over, you hurry up and change them, and put his up. That's not hard, and this doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's just something to do. So you sitting up here thinking that, you're going to be looking at all this stuff and everything. He's putting all that out because he wants to get you upset. And all you had to do was comment and say, look at you hanging on to the past. What the hell is wrong with you? If you hanging on to the past like that, it's no room for me in your future. I'm out. Be gone. That's what you have to do with somebody like that. You don't let them play them kind of games with you. You turn around and walk right out the door. And I would have smashed that cup, I'm telling you. I know me. Because soon as he told me that's what it was, I would have put it in, it would have been up against the wall. coffee, milk, tea, whatever the hell was in it, he would have had to clean that up too because I would have left. And then try to do something about it so I could shoot you. Reach for me. Be the last time your hand moves in anybody's direction. Oh, clown. These men are just a trip. Y'all have to get more of a spine. It's just sit there and take this kind of stuff and repeatedly go into an environment like that that's so disrespectful to you. I don't, there's no reason for him to have all this stuff around on the wall like that. He can put, that might say you can't keep your memorabilia. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is put it away. Be respectful to the person who's in your life now. Don't nobody want to look at all that. And I would have sure told him that too. Or had an accident, been throwing tea, psh, 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 all over some shit. I bet you he would take that shit down after that. Because he would be looking, his shit is all tore up and destroyed and wet. We're not playing these games. I wouldn't want him either, but I'm going to fuck his shit up before I go. That's just how I am. I'm evil. You're not going to play this game with me. I'm going to do something to your shit. All these cars and all this stuff, people be writing stuff. You get wet, the ink runs. Then you can't read it no more. That's what the state I would have left his shit in. Knucklehead. Question number 7. Female 26 to 29 out of Washington, D.C. I have a female friend who I have been close to for almost 10 years, but lately, so let's see, you 26 to 29, so that means like 16 to 19. Okay. But lately I've started to question the quality of our friendship. She has always been a little selfish, but I noticed this past year she tends to place me on the back burner with plans. For example, I've been trying to go to Vegas since last summer with some friends. She claimed she wasn't able to go when I planned it, but she ended up going later with her cousin and a group of their friends. A few months ago, I made plans with her for happy hour, and it was like, I like having bigger groups with me, but that particular day I wasn't in the mood for other people I don't share my personal business with. But she went ahead and invited her cousin, which I didn't care much for that particular day. It might sound grouchy, but that was just that. I was about 8 to 10 minutes from her house and asked her to wait for me so I could ride to the spot with them. And this heifer tells me no, we left, and argued with me about the time we set to head there, and that me, quote, running late and riding with them was not, quote, the plan. I made sure to tell her that was sort of rude and petty, but like a dummy, I still made my way down there, riding 35 minutes by myself to meet them. I felt like a third wheel. Mind you, I invited her to happy hour, not that she invited me to join her and her cousin. Well, recently she invited me to go to a party to go out to on Saturday night, and I said, sure, I'll go. When I got back home before the party, she called to, quote, make a proposition with me that one of her cousin's babysitter canceled and asked if I would take $50 to watch her kids instead. As in, not go to the party that she just invited me to, but instead sit out and watch her cousin's kids. I wanted to slap the shit out of her for even asking me that. Because of our age, I felt silly to say out loud that I feel like she's not much of a friend to me anymore. I don't know. Just not sure if I'm being overly sensitive or if she's really just trifling as shit nowadays. To me, it's always the subtle things that say a lot. Am I too in my feelings, or is she being inconsiderate and rude as fuck? Her birthday trip out of state's coming this May, and now I feel so turned off to make arrangements to do anything out of convenience for her. I'm not into being an extra with her cousins and crew, but a little sad that I may actually be going away from this friendship. Thanks for your time, Deb. You obviously have not listened to my channel that much because you would have heard me talk about the age of women between 25 and 28 that Freud calls Saturn's return. It is a classic transitional period. Every woman goes through it. Right around the age of 27 is when the magic usually happens, and you shed people that have been in your life like a snake sheds a skin. You transform into something else. Your friend is transforming into her, whoever she's going to be, and you are also transforming. And the transformations that you two are making put you at opposite ends of the spectrum. What you're going to have to do, young lady, is accept that relationship that you had with her since you were a teenager, you were a kid. Okay, now you're a young woman. You're grown now. She don't fit the plan no more. So next time she invites you to go somewhere, say, no, thank you, I'm not going. She wants you to come over to her. Nope, not. I'm not. I'm busy. She wants to do anything. I can't make it. She'll get a hint, and after a while, she may like ask you and say, "Well, at the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 times that we were supposed to get together, there was some really funky stuff that you did. I'm not feeling it, and I'm no longer feeling you. So when we hang up, let's just call this a wrap, and we're not gonna do this no more, because it looks like we've outgrown each other. We're going in different directions. Just tell her." Or just ghost her shit. I don't know. Block her and shit. Whatever you want to do. But since it's been 10 years, I would vow, I would, go for the final closure moment and just tell her that you don't want to be bothered with her ass no more, with her cousins and the babysitting and none of their games and bullshit. You just not into it. Okay, then go find you some different friends. Somebody with some sense that treats you with respect. So, yeah, this is like, you good. Because they're telling me to babysit. I would have cussed that bitch out. Somebody telling me to come babysit your raggedy ass, bitch ass cousin's kids. I'm not babysitting no nasty, nappy headed, curtain climbing, snot nosed brats. Are you out your mind? You would have to give me $5,000, not 50. She wouldn't want to ask me nothing. But people know I'm crazy, so this kind of shit would have never happened. But yeah, it's time for you to close the door on this relationship. Question number 8. This is a male in the 21 to 26 group out of Seattle. This is question 8 of 22 questions for those of you who may have missed the initial count. 22 questions I have today. 22 questions. Okay. He says, me, 25, girlfriend 23, mom 51. My mom had a clue for about 6 months and my ex was cheating. My family, especially my mother, became close to my now cheating ex over the past 4 years. We've been broken up for a year after I found about her cheating for the last 8 months with some younger dude. I didn't know until a year later that they had started contacting each other again. My mom thinks everyone is redeemable and she and my ex have similar personality habits. She admitted to knowing about the cheating after I told her, saying, quote, I wanted her to tell you if it was true, and, quote, I didn't know for sure, and my favorite was, quote, you're 25, I didn't think I should get involved. I told her it's annoying that she loaned her money not too long ago and some other stuff. My mom and I have always had a good relationship, but it sucks that she likes both of us the same. Any advice? Yes. If you're living at your mother's house, move your happy ass out. Okay? You 25 years old and you around your mama too damn much. That's how come all this can be happening. And you know all about it and all this stuff. Get your behind into your own spot with some other dudes your age if you have to. And stop hanging around with your mother and knowing what she does all the time. It shouldn't be annoying to you that your mother gave somebody her money unless she asked you to pay it back. So if she, make sure she understands that you ain't involved and don't ask you for crap. Make sure she understands that. If she want to go loaning money to some cheating, lying ex-girlfriend of yours, that's her red wagon. But you don't have anything to do with that. So if the girl don't pay her back or whatever, then that's just gonna be her. She's the L she's gonna have to take. Make sure she understands that. Say, you know the character of this person. She's trifling and just nasty. She's cheating and lying and all the stuff, and you knew, and you gonna turn around and loan her money. That's a dumb bunny move. But your mother's grown. She's entitled to do what she want to do. But I don't. She likes both of you the same. Maybe she's just lonely. Or maybe your girlfriend is a narc and knows how to play your mama. Either way, don't worry about it. You worrying about some shit that don't have nothing to do with you. You broke up with her. It's been over a year. Why are you still talking about her? Just tell your mother, if your mother brings it up when you go visit her, every time she brings her up, get up and walk out the door. She'll learn real quick not to bring up that cow because she won't get to see you. Because every time you come over, she will, bring up the girl and then you'll walk out the door. She'll stop. Yeah, the video. I'm having drama with my video stream because of um I lost my settings and I didn't notice that it also changed um the setting for the video. This is bad. This is bad. You guys just bear with me. Everybody's gonna be having some lagging. 3 times now? Dang. It's probably gonna be a lot more if we get through. All right. Um oh, wait a minute, I skipped something. Okay. Question number 9, female, 18 to 21 from Exeter, Devon, England. Ooh, she put all the names. I met this cute guy, have had 2 great dates. We click, chat loads, and he asked to see me again. However, I've noticed a slight shift in his behavior. He's not as sweet, taking ages to text back. He's online but doesn't reply, short responses, and no effort to keep conversation going. I think I made it pretty obvious that I liked him, so I'm wondering, has this caused him to act different? Was it a mistake to tell him that I wasn't interested in dating other guys as I was enjoying getting to know him? Should I just cancel him out now? Yes, you should. You blew that because you came on too strong. You don't never tell a man, oh, I'm only, I'm globbing onto you because I'm only interested in you after 2 dates. I'm surprised nobody told you that. You have to give people time to get, to like you and decide that they're going to weed their other people out and just focus on you. When you act like this, it's like you just desperate to have somebody. And most men don't respond well to desperate women. So you blew this. So just blow this off and be smarter the next time you're out dating. Don't open your mouth telling man nothing about how you feel. Write it in your diary. You don't feel nothing. And date a couple of different people too. So you don't have all of these all this angst about it. He's just, he's trying to dip out on the slow by not texting back and just being, kind of cold and bland and flat. So I mean, the handwriting's on the wall. So it's over. Just, cut ties and move on. Question number 10. This is a male, 30 to 36, from Joliet. How do you pronounce that? Joliet, Illinois. I'm a 32-year-old male. I have known this woman a couple of days ago from a dating app. What? Dude, what kind of sentence are you at? We are both looking for a relationship. We decided to meet. The meeting lasted a couple of hours and went very well. The issue is that I recently broke up with my partner, with whom I was not married, and have a 3-year-old kid. While talking about online dating, this woman mentioned that she's met some men who claim to be divorced and asked them about their divorce on 2 separate occasions and got 2 separate answers. She said that this meant that the guy was lying and it was enough to make her stop dating him. Also, she mentioned that she does not want to get into a situation where the guy did not fully split up with his partner and still lives with her, and that she wants a clean, straight situation where there was a clean breakup. Fortunately, this is my case because I found a place to stay on my own and have not had any relationship with my partner for more than 6 months. I completely understand her point of view and agree with it, and I value her honesty. I was tempted to bring up my split up and my kid during the conversation, but I was scared. I felt it was too early and things were going so well that I was afraid to kill the mood. Also, she did not ask about it, nor did I ask whether she has children. I'm an honest guy and have no intention to hide this information from my future partner, and I think that mutual respect is key in dating. Did I blow this by not mentioning it during the first date? Will it be too late if I mention this on our second date? No, this is fine. Even the third or fourth date. You know why? Because sometimes, I mean, until you know if you guys like each other, what's the point of bringing kids into it? And see, for the woman's perspective, it's risky to start telling men that you have kids and what ages they are and stuff because these weirdo types that are looking for single mothers that have children in their target age group would love that information because they want to get into a relationship with you as quickly as possible so they can have unfettered access to your children for nefarious purposes. So I don't ever think women should go into, telling men, oh, I got kids and I have a girl this age and a boy that age. Just keep your mouth shut. They don't need to know all them details. By the second or third date, if you decide you like him, then you can say, well, yeah, I have some kids. And he's going to say, well, what if I prefer not to discuss my children? I'm still trying to decide if I like you first. And just, redirect that conversation. I'm always suspect when they want to know too much about your kids. Keep your mouth shut. Y'all be telling too much, setting your kids up and stuff. You don't even know what you're doing, running your mouth. Yeah, they do. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not down with that. Everybody telling, yeah, I got on the first date. Yeah, I got 3 kids. I got a girl 7 and a girl 5 and a boy who's 9. And so the dude is like, you, yeah, I'll be over directly. And you would have done that with your big mouth being too trusting. Don't do that. So, dude, I don't think you did wrong to not say anything about that. And you can always tell her if she tried to jam you up and say, well, you didn't mention, that you had kids or something. You never asked. And neither did I ask you. So we're still trying to get to find out if we want to even have a second date. So why would I do that? And why would you be telling me all of that? That has nothing to do with you and I, who would be the two people in this relationship if we decided to have one. That's how I would roll with that. Question number 11, female 25 to 29 out of Sunnyvale. Oh, that's not too far from here. My 30-year-old sister is freeloading off of my grandma and has been freeloading off of her since she was in her 20s because she wanted to do grown stuff when she was younger, like having different men in the house, etc. So decided to go live with my grandma. Fast forward to today, and my sister now has 3 children, one by this other dude, and the other 2 are by her now husband. But she got knocked up and had kids by him before he got married, but that's another story. Anyways, her oldest one is 10, and the middle one is about to turn. Oh, the middle is about to turn 2, and the youngest one is like 7 months. Damn, girl. My grandma's been taking care of my sister and her kids without receiving any money to pay water, gas, electric, and she never buys groceries and doesn't cook. My grandma still works in her old age. I believe she's in her early 70s. And then has to come home and worry about the kids that aren't even hers and cook if my dad doesn't do it. My sister and her husband just got married about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they still live in separate housing. He lives in a one-bedroom apartment and has 3 kids that don't live with him. They only stay with him on the weekends. I don't know why she was splurging on a big wedding anyways when she wants to buy a house and pays no bills as it is. She's also very messy, and so is her oldest son, who can't even flush the toilet, take the dishes out of his room, or put his already folded up clothes that my grandmother does for him. She's lazy at that too, and there'll be toys strolled all over the living room, and she won't even be bothered to pick up one toy off the floor, and her bedroom is junky as fuck. She also leaves shitty diapers all over the house because she's too lazy to take it outside to the garbage can. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. Her husband barely takes care of the kids that he has with her. He comes over like 5 times a month. When my nephews go over to his house, his teenage kids help him out with the little ones. My dad takes on the responsibility of taking the kids outside, taking them places, and even feeds them at the dinner table. My mom buys the kids clothes, and my sister doesn't let them wear. She just lets them sit on random totes and never puts them to use. Oh my God, your sister is majorly dusty. Thanks, Bella. This is sad. She's finally looking at a house and is thinking about buying, but it's still unfurnished. I'm sure she'll be dragging her feet about that like she does everything else. I'm just tired of her taking advantage of my grandma's kindness. She's always been ungrateful, and I always cause a complaint about her to my mom when my grandma does everything for her and has never made her pay bills. My grandmother used to be this sweet old lady, but taking care of my sister has made her become bitter and resentful. Okay. You know, I told you I used to work with Adult Protective Services in Alameda County. I know a lot about Adult Protective Services in all of Northern California. Sunnyvale is in Santa Clara County. They have what's called a FAST unit, Financial Abuse and something. I forgot what the S and the T stands for. But anyway, they have a special unit that all they do is investigate situations like this. Santa Clara County is on it. Okay, you need to go and look up the number and for Santa Clara County Adult Protective Services FAST, FAST unit, and it should pull right up, and you call them and you give them your grandmother's name and you file a report on your sister and her dusty husband, and you tell them about how they've been financially and mentally and physically abusing your 70-year-old grandmother for years. They will roll in there and kick your sister out. Okay, that's what they will do. They will make her get out. Now, of course, since Adult Protective Services is a voluntary program that the social workers and stuff come over there, you need to be there to give your grandmother some backup because she is most likely going to fold because your sister be like, oh, well, she let us stay here. You know, she just let us, and your grandmother being confused by the whole thing and not wanting to feel like she's being the bad guy will most likely just tell the people that, she doesn't need the help. And things will never change because it's a voluntary program. I mean, the seniors have the right to say they don't want the help. But it sounds like she's fed up and she's probably ready, but she doesn't know how to get them out. And so you need to help her. So you go and file that report of abuse on your grandmother, and they will send out a social worker and tell them that, it's money, it's financial abuse because she's making your sister's making her support her and her kids out of her own money. and that, it's not fair and it's not right, and your grandma doesn't want it to happen, but she feels stuck. She needs help. And so they'll roll in, honey. Fast don't play. They don't play. We was trying to get something set up similar in Alameda County, but I don't know if it ever went through. But they do have it in Santa Clara County, so that's a good place for her to be. And they don't play. So, yeah. Question number 12, male 21 to 26, out of Bayswater, Westminster, London. Wow. I've been dating my girlfriend for 4 months. We live in different cities but see each other every weekend. Things were going really well until about 3 weeks ago. My eldest sister attempted suicide, and as you can imagine, this has hit me hard. I haven't been myself since, and I'm well aware that I've been more stressed and anxious because of it. My girlfriend does not want to discuss this with me. Instead, she is complaining that things feel weird between us and is withdrawing affection. I've talked to her about this, and she won't give me any reason why she's acting cold towards me other than things feel different now. She has also accused me of making her feel that she's not allowed to have negative feelings, which is not what I meant or said. Ironically, that is how she has made me feel. I've been there for her when she's had emotional difficulties, but she does not seem willing to talk to me or even acknowledge that I'm going through something very difficult. It feels like all it took for her to lose interest in me was seeing me struggle with a very traumatic and stressful event. I want to give this a chance, but I'm also very close to ending things with her over this. Any advice on what I can do and try to get things on track? Oh, just end it. Just end it. You've only been dating for 4 months. I mean, you guys are barely a couple. And see, this is the video that's going to be on tomorrow, um, talking about the emotional currency that women put into relationships. Now, see, this isn't even about your trouble. This is about your sister and her drama, which is your parents' responsibility. I know you feel upset, but it's not your job to fix it. Okay? It's your parents' job. That's their daughter. Okay, that's who needs to be worried about this, not you. So you dragging all that shit to a girlfriend friend that you've only had for 4 months, thinking she's supposed to listen to that all the time? She to hear all of that? It offer you a shoulder to cry on when it's not your problem, it's your sister and your parents' problem? See, this is when it becomes really interesting. I like her boundaries. And I know a lot of people probably be like, yeah, but she's a bitch. That's her boyfriend. She should be, at least there for him. She should be this. She should be that. No, she shouldn't. She barely knows this cat. Okay? 4 months in, that ain't shit. And he gonna come dragging all this baggage and stuff. These people are young. He's in the 21 to 26 age group. So she's probably that or young, possibly even younger. She don't want to be bothered with this. It's too much. I'm way older than that. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want my boyfriend come to me crying about his sister tried to kill herself. I say, well, did the bitch succeed? What was she trying to kill herself for? You should have got her some help then. But whatever it is, don't come crying to me. I don't want to hear it. I deal with problems on my advice column, and that's the problems, all the problems I want to deal with. I'm not trying to deal with your family and your dramas over there. You deal with that. That's y'all. That's your family. That's your people. You deal with it just like I deal with the stuff that goes on in mine. I don't run around crying to people about it. I deal with it. And you need to do the same thing. I don't want to hear it. I don't have no emotional currency to give you about that. Yeah, I just don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about your badass kids. I don't want to hear about your baby mama drama. I don't want to hear about your issues at your job. I don't want to hear about anything. That's probably why I'm single. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. They be wearing me out with that. And then they never want to do what you suggest that they do. So they want to keep just wallowing in it and keep bugging the fuck out of you, talking about the same shit over and over and over and over and over. Like you're just supposed to just be this endless source of listening to bullshit. I don't want to hear it. You know you was in the shit. You asked me what you should do. I told you what you should do. You didn't do it. Okay, so that's where my involvement ends. Everything else that happens, that's on you now. I've done my part. I'm handle it. So I can understand. 4 months in, she's not trying to be bothered with you, sir. With your wacky ass sister, your codependent ass parents. I just I like her. She's very clear on what her boundaries are. I wish more young women were. Question number 13, female, 30 to 36 in Daly City, California. So I am single and dating a man who has two teenage daughters. Ooh, you brave. 14 and 17 every weekend. We have been together for 6 months and are exclusive. I try not to bother him when he's spending quality time with his kids. So you've been together 6 months. Okay, so I usually do not text or call him. In the beginning, I did call or text him, hello, how's your day going? And would get no answer until Monday. It bothered me a bit because I expected at least a text message back saying he's okay or he is busy. Okay, but you know he's with his kids, so you already know that he's okay and you already know that he's busy. So what the fuck are you doing? You're trying to be a bugaboo. You just want some attention like a child. Leave that man alone. My previous boyfriend also had two children, and I did not bother him when he was with his kids unless I had a question about something, and he would usually either call or text me back when he had a chance. He also made a point to contact me every day at least once. Not a day went by that I didn't hear from him. I get there are two different people who deal with things differently. I realize when you have children that you don't get to see all the time, you are busy and don't think of anything else. But is it unreasonable to expect to at least a text saying hello or letting me know he is busy or will call me later? I have spoken to him twice about this, and he said he would try to do better. I haven't texted him all weekend, and he hasn't contacted me either. I haven't heard anything since Friday morning, and he would probably call me on Monday as if nothing ever happened. I do not have children, so would like to know from other parents' points of view. Am I being unreasonable by expecting to be contacted at some point over the weekend? Oh, leave that man alone. Don't you have some friends or something for yourself to do? Instead of worrying about what he's doing with his teenage daughters, do you know what a handful of teenage girls are? Don't you reflect back on when you was one? Okay, that man is busy. Okay, and he's got issues. He got a lot to deal with as daddy at that age where they're interested in boys and they're starting to date, and he want trying to get them back. Keep them at a dull roar and not get too far out of pocket and deal with their frustrations and their confusion and those wild emotional ups and downs that teenage girls have, and plus the fact that the parents split up, so they got a whole bunch going on with that. And you sitting up there, he won't text me, he won't call me, I need attention. You stupid. God, he should break up with you. I mean, your ass is in the 30 to 36 age group. Don't you have a life? Don't you have friends that you could be going out with and going away for the weekend with and going to have spas and going to the movies, going to lunch, going to dinner, doing stuff with your friends during the time when he's with his daughters? You shouldn't be thinking about what he's doing. It shouldn't even be crossing your mind because your life is so full with your stuff. This is how you can tell you just boring. You just like a boring basic bitch. Because you don't have shit going on. You got to be chasing after some man who's with his teenage girls. Oh, my goodness. It's not even self-love. She just needs some shit to do. A lot of women make their men their hobbies. They just go to work. Some of them go to church. And then they have a man. And that's their life. That's all they do. It's one of them three things that they thinking about or doing. And so when he's not available, they feel lost like a rudderless ship. They don't have nothing to do because they have no hobbies. They have no interests. They don't read. They don't go nowhere. They don't do nothing. They're about as creative as a rock. So, when you have a situation like this, no. She going to keep bugging him. He going to break up with her. Question number 14. Female 18 to 21. My mom seems to always have had body image problems. She's 43 now, but when she was a kid, she was extremely jealous of her sister Megan, quote, who got way more dates than she did. My mom remains extremely spiteful about all the dates that her sister got, even decades later, and implies that her sister put out to get free dinners as the family was poor. My mom talks about it using phrases like, I may have been as pretty as Megan, but, and talks about Megan in a degrading way. In her college days, my mom became anorexic. The point is, she doesn't have the best self-esteem. Well, in the past few months, she's been taking it out on me. I'm not a supermodel or anything, just basically an average 18-year-old girl. I frequently get compliments from friends from my little sister Alexa, she put that in quotes, on the way I look, but almost all my mom's comments are negative. I'm in college out of state now, but in high school, she would tell me I needed to do exercises to slim down my thighs and encourage me to just try a glass of skim milk for breakfast. Yes, really. Okay. This mother sounds weird. All right, so skip that. She also tells me that my ears stick out too far, my nose is crooked, my toes are weird, my eyes are uneven. Wow. I could go on and on, but that would just make this too long. As you might imagine, all of this really gets on my nerves, and recently when she started criticizing the way my makeup looked, I yelled at her to stop. I told her not to comment on my appearance anymore and that I didn't like it. Well, she wasn't having it. She told me she was just doing her motherly duty and has continued with the criticism. Eventually, I talked to my dad about it. I told him that I told him that she always had negative things to say about the way I dressed or looked, and I didn't like it. He told me that one night my mom told him that she didn't like the way she looked. Apparently, she mentioned how beautiful I was and that she never had that. I kind of feel guilty now, but all of her harsh criticism really crushes me, and I feel like her own insecurity is no excuse. I may be out of the house now, but I still have to interact with her, and I'm also worried about how she'll treat Alexa, my beautiful younger sister, in the future. How do I get her to stop? Cuss her fucking ass out. This is the thing. Just because somebody gave birth to you does not mean that they on your team. Okay, your mother's doing everything that she can to crush you into nothing, to make you feel like you're nothing, to be the lowest of the low, depressed, anxious, and probably just eating disorders, and to encourage you to hate yourself like she does herself. And that's what you have to do. Somewhere, girlfriend, you're going to have to dig down way deep and find the courage. When the next time she gets started on this tirade, say, look here, fatty, I want to tell you something about yourself. You are the worst mother on the fucking planet. I've never seen anybody like you that wants to tear her daughter down and try to make her feel as low and nasty and disgusting as you feel about yourself. But guess what? My self-esteem is too high in spite of everything that you've tried to do to me, every way you've tried to crush me. I didn't let you do it. You failed, just like you fail at everything else in life. Send that bitch away in tears. She'll never fuck with you again. I'm just saying. I don't that I don't care. Just because you birthed me, you're not showing me the respect that you birthed me. So guess what? That means I don't have to show you none either. Especially now, you girlfriend, you have taken years and years and years of this, being a dutiful daughter, trying your hardest to respect your mother because she is your mother. I totally understand it. I get it. But you're a grown woman now. Okay, so what you had to take when you was a minor child, you don't have to take that shit now. So you need to take off the kid gloves and blast her like there is no tomorrow. And tell her, and you see what, if you do some crazy shit like that to my sister, I'm gonna call Child Protective Services on you for emotional and mental abuse of a minor. And I'm gonna report you. Keep that shit up. Just because I let you do it to me, don't think you're going to do it to my sister. Bitch, I will have your ass in jail. Don't think I won't. No. And talk about her. Everything that's wrong with her, read her from her head to her toe. Like she trying to talk about you, talk about her. Everything. Don't hold back. Blast her to smithereens. Like I said, it end with you, and you just failed. You failed to crush me just like you failed at everything else because you're a failure at that, and you're a failure at life, and you're a failure at everything. You try to fail to be beautiful. You can't do shit right. I guess it's the good thing I'm not her daughter. But that's how I deal with people like that. And I just really don't care that we're related. That it doesn't mean anything to me. It means nothing. Because you're not treating me like I'm your daughter. Why eat chicken sandwiches? That's right. Woo! Lord have mercy. This got me heated. Because there's nothing worse than, where you get your sense of who you are starts at home. And unfortunately, a lot of people have had very, dysfunctional families. It's not like she's the only one, don't get me wrong. But in a situation where you seem to have made it out pretty well, you're aware of what's going on. You have a very analytical mind, so you're able to separate what you are versus what she tried to get you to believe you are. So for that, I got to give you credit for that because a lot of people just absorb what their parents say as if it's a fact, and you didn't do that. So good for you. Kudos there. But it's time for you to blast her ass. She need to beat down a verbal one. It's times like this I wish there were some kind of way for me to like teleport into people's bodies for maybe 5, 10 minutes. Of course, they could pay me some grand theft amount of money, and then I teleport right back out. But while I was in there, after they give me the complete rundown of their issue, I would act the original fool and just like say everything that they're too afraid to say. I would love that. If that was possible, wouldn't that be great? Man, I would love that. And get so many parents and friends and husbands and stuff just told and straight. Question number 15. This is a young woman in the 26 to 29 age group out of Roxbury. I called it quits with my ex 5 months ago because he wouldn't commit. And since then, I decided to move away in about 6 months. We have been friendly with each other over the past 2 months, seeing each other once a week and going out. I started feeling something again. Of course you did. Last time we saw each other, he brought up an issue which we had in the past and made a sarcastic joke about it, which was mean. I didn't really respond and changed the subject with the joke. Then he proceeded on making another comment that I already disliked when we were together, and he told me he was joking. When I was about to leave, he told me that he started seeing someone new and was on the verge of starting to feel something for her, and that's why he was telling me. I said that I was happy for him, and then we discussed the end of our relationship. He compared me negatively to his new girlfriend, blamed me for everything, and said that he was surprised by my coolness about the news. I asked if he was expecting a scene, to which he responded, I'd remind you that you are not in a position to make any scene. I just stared at him puzzled. Then he said he just wanted to keep seeing me every week and doesn't want to lose me in his life. I have no idea what to think about this. I feel very badly about the whole thing and just cut off communication. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. What the fuck? You was wrong to even be trying to see him. Okay, you decided that he was so stupid, so nasty, so disgusting that you not only was going to break up with him, you was going to leave the area and move like as you got yourself together in 6 months, 6 months out, you was out like of the whole area. Yet you wanted to let him come back in your life and mess with your head. That's what you did. See, this is why you all got to leave your exes alone. You cannot be friends with an ex. You can't go out with an ex. You cannot hang out with an ex. They're trying to get you. You broke up with him, right? So he's trying to get revenge. He's trying to get revenge on you and set you up, and you took the bait. You never go out with an ex like this. That was your fatal error. And then he's sitting up there, starting to make these comments. When he made a comment that you didn't like, you were supposed to make one back about him. Something that he doesn't like. It's like, well, you have this and that. Yeah, but, too bad you have a little dick. I can't tell you how many men I've met that have a way bigger one and know what to do with it too. Unlike you. So then he would have said something, you could have lit him up again. See, we're going to play this game. Let's play. Then he's starting to see someone now on the verge of starting to feel something for her. And that's what he's telling him to say, what you want, a fucking cookie and a round of applause? I don't give a fuck. That bitch is stupid. Let me get her phone number so I can tell her what she's in for with your narc, disgusting ass. Let's do that. Give me her number. No, I don't want you to call her. I want to call her because I want to warn her. This way she can't never say that she didn't know how trifling and stupid you are because I'm about to tell her. And then I was happy for him. And then you discussed our relationship. He compared you negatively to his new girlfriend, blamed you for everything and said he was surprised with my coolness. Say, of course I'm cool because I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. I don't give a fuck about nothing you talking about. I'm just like you, the Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, 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 wah. That's about how important what you talking about is to me. As a matter of fact, let me get my shit and get the fuck up out of here. I'm wasting my time with you. Hey, get up and walk out the door. Why y'all keep sitting there listening to this nonsense? Nobody's forcing you to stay there and listen to this, You have 2 legs. You need to put them in motion. Ooh, I can't believe it. Yes, you did the right thing. Stop feeling bad about breaking up with somebody who don't give a shit about you and talk to you all kind of crazy. Block his number. And block him on all your social media accounts, too. So he can't contact you no more. And don't you dare go out with him again. If you do go out with him, you're an idiot. Question number 16, male, 21 to 25 out of the UK. Just seeking opinions from you and your crew there, Deb. Recently, I split with a girl I've been seeing for 2 years. She suffered mental health issues. Oh, a crazy bitch. Mainly deep depression. We didn't directly split because of this. She broke up with me. And she jumped straight into bed with a fellow mental health sufferer who she turned to for support. 2 batshit crazy people in a relationship. Oh, boy. I tried to show support for her and that I'm here for her. She has replied saying she's sorry. She hadn't been in touch rather, but needed space. I left it for a few days, maybe a week, and then I messaged her a friendly text of support, reassuring her that I care about her. She reads my messages but doesn't respond. I did tell her that the no reply sends my mind into overload, and even if she just said that she didn't want to speak to me, then I'd respect that. If she doesn't want to hear from me or speak to me, why doesn't she just block me instead? The question is, why are you chasing after somebody who's a mental case and who's already in a mental case relationship with some other mental case? What's wrong with you? You sound crazy too. Oh my God. This dude, man, if I was your mother, I would be kicking your ass from here to Hong Kong. I swear. You know, sitting up there, she worrying about what she's doing. A crazy bitch. Leave her ass alone. Find yourself somebody that's sane. That's not popping pills to keep their moods right and doing stupid shit with other stupid crazy people. And your mind into a you. I don't even know what to say. As you can see, I'm just stuttering and sputtering here because I just can't believe this. If she didn't want to speak to you. Obviously, she don't, because that's why she's leaving your stuff on red and not responding. That's kind of a duh. But you need like an engraved invitation. Sir, you invited to. I don't give a fuck. And I don't want to ever respond to your questions or comments or texts or calls ever again. Is that what you need? Then consider you just got it delivered. I just gave it to you. Leave that girl alone. Block her number. Stop calling her. Question number 17. Oh my God. These people, it's like every week they get crazier. I gotta fix my thing before the next live stream. I see what's wrong now. The resolution rate changed. Yeah, it's way bad, way off. Question number 17, female, 26 to 29. Due to financial strain, my boyfriend and I signed a lease together a few months ago. Pretty quickly, things went downhill. While he has never been physically violent, he is mentally ill. Oh, not another nut job. And has refused to take responsibility for it. He keeps guns around the house that aren't secured, which I'm not okay with. He is patronizing and tends to ignore me or roll his eyes whenever I do or say something he doesn't like. I have suggested couples counseling, but he refuses. And every attempt at conversation is shut down. By far, the biggest issue, though, is that I have just realized that this is not someone I want to date. You know, if you had taken your time instead of hurrying up and trying to rush and live with somebody, because just like you living with him, you could have lived with a female friend. You could have rented a room from somebody. You didn't have to move in with some dude that you barely knew. You chose to do that stupid shit. And this is what the price that you paying for it. Just a dumb bunny. Unfortunately, our lease still has several months to go, and neither of us have friends or finances available to make moving out a viable option. I am tired of this relationship, and it's exhausting me to keep up an act that feels disingenuous, and I feel cruel misleading him, though I can't imagine he doesn't have the same idea and is happy himself. My fear is that were I to end things, he would become not violent but highly inconvenient to spite me. I worry that he would intentionally create messes and refuse to clean them or refuse to pay his portion of bills. I feel stuck staying in this relationship that's making me miserable, and I don't know what to do. Nothing. You're going to stay your happy ass there, and you're going to learn a lesson. That's what you're going to do. You're going to stay there until the last day of that lease in the last month or the last 6 weeks or something. You're going to start looking for a room to rent, someplace where, like a hotel, like a rooming house where there's all girls, something like that. That's what you need to look for if you don't have no money. You guys share meal costs, and it's only women that live there, and then that's what you need to do. And don't ever do this again. Moving with some dude. Yeah, living with a dude with guns. I mean, well, she's still gonna have to pay, the money because you got to pay at a shelter. You can only stay there temporarily. She got months to go on her lease, but in a case like this, she just gonna stay there and learn a valuable lesson. That she needs to learn a lesson on this one. He's got guns, but you never said that he was, brandishing them or anything. He just has them. Okay. I'm not a fan of stupid men having guns, but it doesn't really, I mean, did I miss something? He's mentally ill. Are his guns licensed? You could always drop that dime if he's not guns aren't licensed and he's mentally ill, like taking some kind of mental ill things and he's not licensed. It might be the kind of thing he's not supposed to have guns. In which case, you could make that quick call to the police, and then when you at work, they could come in the house and take the guns, all of them, because they would turn that house inside out and get them out of there. Because he's a nut. He's a danger to the community. Question number 18, female 21 to 25 out of Tennessee. So, me and my boyfriend have been together for about 9 months. We have our issues like any couple, and it's not always perfect, but we have big plans for our life: kids, marriage, the entire white picket fence. After 9 months, about 2 months ago, a rock was thrown into our plans by a surprise Facebook message. A girl who I have heard of, we live in a smallish town, that's why I didn't put it on the form. Oh, okay, she just said Tennessee. I'm 25 and she's probably 19 or 20, so she's not someone I have interacted with. Her message states that she has a 3 month old daughter. She had tested all of the many other possibilities of who the dad could be, and the only option left is my boyfriend, and that he had known about it the entire time. This was before he and I started seeing each other. So it's not that he cheated, but he didn't know it could be his, and he didn't say anything. He told me that he didn't think it was his because she was known for sleeping around and they only hooked up once. Well, I freaked out a bit at first, but I've taken some time to think. I have a daughter also that he was fully aware of her before we dated. It wasn't like, surprise, here's the newborn. But regardless, I love him, so I have decided to work past it. Well, it's been a few months now. We're still waiting on tests and court to come through. But the child's mother is already an absolute nightmare. She's very young and immature, and every time she gets upset with him, even a little, she messages me about him as if it's some big game. She's even to the point where if he irritates her, she starts trying to hint that he assaulted her. Oh boy. Which I promise you isn't the case. This girl has been known for making up similar stories in the past, but when she wants to be buddies with him, she tells him how thankful she is that they crossed paths and created her miracle. It's all just really sick, and he hasn't even seen the baby yet. This is all via social media when she randomly drops into his inbox for no reason. So my fear is, how much worse will she get? Oh, you've only seen the surface of crazy. Honestly, this entire situation has already been so hard on me. The thought of our plans always having to include this child forever. Now our plans of children are up in the air because of cost and space, not to mention watching him be a parent for the first time with someone else's baby. I don't know how to get through this without it being mentally damaging on me and the jealousy making me resent the child who I know did nothing wrong. I'm lost on top of the mother being awful. Okay, first of all, you sitting up there trying to stake a claim talking about you got to watch him be a parent for the first time with somebody else's baby. When you have a kid yourself, didn't you say that you have a daughter? Yeah, I have a daughter also. Bitch, what the fuck? You tripping. Okay, you trying to hold him to a standard that you can't even meet yourself. Okay, so that, no, you don't get to hold that against him at all. And now the only thing that I'm having a problem with is, um, you trying to create something long term with somebody who's got a hot mess situation in their life. You have a child. So not only is this hot mess and this crazy woman and this crazy baby and all of this stuff going to be, causing problems for him, it's going to cause problems for you. It's going to cause problems for your daughter. Okay, this is the part that drives me crazy about these women with, hanging on to these men, and you just push the needs of your child aside while you dick chase. That's what you're doing. And this man, his life is a hot mess. You need to back away from this situation. Leave him alone. I don't care if it's his kid or not. Right now, he's acting like it probably is. He probably knows it is his, or he has a sneaking suspicion. And so, you sitting up there trying to act like you have all this claim on dude, and when all you guys haven't been together a year yet, and all these dreams and stuff you have are nothing but talk. He hasn't seen the baby yet, and this and that, blah blah blah. Oh shit! Does she even have a kid? It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. I'm just kind of nosy, but the main thing you need to do is protect your daughter. Forget about yourself and forget about him. Keep your daughter away from this nut job woman and her weirdness. And whatever she gonna bring down, whatever hell she gonna rain down on dude, you don't need to be nowhere on the scene when it starts coming down. You need to be safely tucked away somewhere with your daughter out of harm's way. Dealing with some crazy woman. I'm like, these people. Soon a dude told me that he might have a baby on the way, and so by some crazy bitch, I've been like, it's been a nice 9 months, but I'm out. I don't have no time for this. I'm just like, mm-mm. All right, question number 19, 19 of 22. 26 to 29 out of Manchester, England. She says, I've been seeing this guy for 2 weeks now. I'm well educated and well spoken. Where is he from? A rougher area. He told me he would like us to date exclusively, and I said okay, because I don't like to date multiple people at one time anyway. You don't know what you're missing. Things are going well. He's really sweet to me, buys me dinner all the time, and drives 30 minutes to see me whenever I want, and just small things here and there. He's clear on what he wants, which is a relationship. But I went in with just having fun, going for coffee, movie, doing fun activities, and getting to know new people and see where things go. Now I really like him. So we had a serious talk the other night about past relationships and where we are now, and I found out that he has a criminal record. He told me it was unjust. He was drunk, and a few guys provoked and jumped him, and he retaliated, and the fight got ugly. He was in charge with assault last summer. I guess I just can't get past that he has a criminal record. Does that make me shallow? It's just I'm from a well educated background. It might not work, and I don't want to hurt him. I told him the other day that a break might be nice, and he got upset and said I stole his heart, and now it hurts. What do you all think about this, Deb? He doesn't drink at all now, mind you. It sounds to me like you need to do some investigating. I mean, it's nice that he says that's all it was. He's young. You guys are young. Um, 26 to 29, you're in that group, so he's, probably somewhere around there himself. And I would say just find out what you can find out through public records on what the exact charges were and the matters of the case. Put your mind at ease and fact find. And if you find out that it was exactly as he stated, a fight where it got ugly and there was multiple people involved, then I mean to me, I would have if that's a criminal record shit, then I should have about 50 of that. Cause I done beat many folks' asses and gave no fucks. I didn't get arrested though. But, it's the kind of thing that, if you in a situation like that, sometimes you just have to fight your way out of stuff. I had to fight my way out of a bathroom with two girls in a situation like that. I ended up I only had to fight one, but I beat her ass. But I mean, if it's the kind of thing where, it got like into a situation where the police were called and stuff, it might have got to that point, but I dipped out before anything could happen. I was out of there in like 30 seconds. I cleared the club, raced to my car, and was gone. And it wasn't a place I went a lot, so nobody really knew who I was. But and he doesn't drink now. I don't know. I mean, if you get along with him and everything, I that's what I would say. Find that out first. Find that out, and then base your decision on that. Since that seems to be your main point of contention, you're not too worried about anything else. That's the only thing that you seem to really have a problem with him about. So put your mind at ease. It's easy enough to find out. Girl, I'm not the dude. Well, whatever. Ken's and be. I'm not letting nobody beat me up. We're not having. That's when I was, working out as a trainer and stuff. I was buff, and so no, I wasn't. That wasn't gonna happen. It's like you trying to jump somebody and stuff about some crazy nigga that I wasn't even, not even into. I mean, I just have to be there with him. I don't love this dude. You, damn, you want him? You could have him. Let me put a bow in his head. I don't want this fool. But she was all in her feelings about dude, and I'm like, I don't fight over men. Even if I was married, I still wouldn't fight. I figure he knows where he wants to be. That's just how I do. I do not fight over men, and I do not worry about men cheating. I don't give a fuck. I care about me. So, they do what they going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So here we go. This question number 20 out of 22. We knocking them on down. Female, 21 to 26 out of Knoxville. I'm in a 7-month relationship with my very first boyfriend. I'm 21. He's 20. This is his second relationship. And I've been struggling with depression and anxiety for a while. Ugh. There have been multiple times where I cry in front of him and he doesn't know how to comfort me. There was a time where I cried and sobbed for at least 10 minutes, ran to the bathroom and sobbed, but he didn't do anything. And when I came back out, he was just sitting on my bed waiting for me to finish or something. Afterwards, I told him that I've never cried on the bathroom floor before, and he just told me, well, now you have. Dude, that would be me. That made me feel so mad and sad. Like, is that all supposed to make me feel better? And there have been lots of cases where I'm sad and he knows, but doesn't do anything except it'll get better. I'll feel better after I go to sleep. We had a discussion oh my God, this is long, not too long ago about how he doesn't know how to comfort me, which he admitted so. And I told him I want him to be more assertive or bold. In the instance of the story of me running to the bathroom floor to cry, I wish he would have knocked on the door, asked him okay, had done some other action instead of doing nothing. He said he tried to work on it. Okay, so then she tells a story about being in an apartment alone and uh, yeah, yeah. I told him I had a bad memory of staying home alone, and all he asked was about the story of it. I didn't see the point of him knowing about it, especially if it makes me recall a bad memory, and I'm already at home by myself. I got upset and told him talking about it isn't going to help, and I'm just going to sleep. He said, "Okay, I'll sleep too." I'm just frustrated, even though we talked about him trying to be more assertive with comforting me. It's like he's the same. And I'm questioning why isn't being more caring when I say that I cried. He has seen me cry many times. And I'm worried he just thinks if he leaves me alone, I'll just stop crying, which makes me feel so helpless. Blah, blah, blah. I slowly realized in this relationship that I need someone to lead me on, pull me up when I'm sad, even if I try to push them away out of consideration. He just doesn't do that a lot of the time. I know we're both willing to work on this flaw, and we both love each other a lot. We really do have a healthy, loving relationship, but I'm just so tired of being sad, him not doing anything about it. Shit, I would dump your sad ass. That's what I would do. Be sad by yourself, bitch. I'm young. I don't have time for this. You girls, you just drive me crazy. Take some pills for this shit. Do something with yourself. You want to drag these young dudes, you guys are like kids, and you want to drag them down with you. That's not fair. Okay, it's not fair. You have some issue that you had before he ever even met you, and you want him to come in the door and fix you and devote all his time to you and be codependent on you and at your beck and call and jump around and do all this stuff for you so that you feel better. He's very nice because I would tell you, fuck you. I don't give a shit what you do. Cry on the floor, against the wall, go up on the roof and cry. Go sit in your car and cry. Go over there and sit in the river, in the cold river, the 35-degree water and cry. I don't care where you go and I don't care what you do when you get there. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm young. I don't want to be bothered with this. I'm not equipped to deal with this. I'm not a shrink lady. That's what he's trying to get you to understand. He likes you, but you're doing too much. And it's crying on the floor. I tell you all one thing. I know this may sound racist, but this is true. When I started working in corporate America, I never seen people cry so much as the white girls in corporate America. Every time somebody jammed them up, because you know I was busy doing that, they did some shit I didn't like, and I'm straight in their face telling them about it. First thing they do is want to turn on the waterworks for some damn sympathy. And this is me just sitting there looking at them. Are you going to stop so we can have this conversation like adults? And I was all like, 18, 19 years old. But it's like, I don't want to deal with that. And I don't no man want to deal with that shit. All this crying and shit. Do something with yourself. Fix your problem. Stop looking for other people to fix it for you. That's not what a relationship is for. You're doing too much. Oh, my God. You want him to comfort you. What is he, your fucking teddy bear? Grow up. Yeah, if I were him, I would break up with you. I need someone to lead me on and pull me up. Pull your damn self up. Big whiny ass baby. I know that wasn't the answer that you were expecting, but that's the best answer for you because you're doing the most. You're doing the most, and you're getting. I mean, if you get on my nerves with just one letter telling me about, I know you killing his nerves with all of this. Exactly. She need her ass kicked right quick. I bet you she'll stop then. Or be like, the Black Parents Handbook. You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about. Question number 21, male 30 to 36. I'm really struggling mentally and physically with my wife's current weight situation. We have been married for 11 years. I love her with all my heart. But in the past couple of years, she's gone from being slightly overweight to a point where I now look at her and, for lack of a better explanation, I am turned off. While our intimate life isn't what it used to be because we're married and have 3 kids and are very busy, I shamefully admit that she doesn't have that wow factor for me anymore. She used to be able to put on something, some little piece of something that would allure me, but now when she does it, it's kind of a hit or miss. She gets really upset when this happens, and generally I just make up an excuse that I'm tired and don't feel up to it. We're probably down to every 4 or 5 days now, and usually it's not because of her. What's wrong with every 4 to 5 days when you got 3 kids? Now you may say, well, have you even spoken to her about this? And the answer is no. I'm not going to deny that my wife and I have communication problems, but frankly, that is not the heart of the issue here. Long story short, she tends to get extremely defensive when I bring things like this up and will somehow spin it like she's the victim without taking any ownership. She's aware of her problem. She even makes off-color comments that she's so lucky to have me because no one else would want to have eggplant with her in reference to her weight. The thing here is, I just really don't want to hurt her feelings by bringing this up and addressing it. And for the record, she has tried losing weight, and I fully acknowledging how challenging it is to do so. Last but not least, I hope I'm painting a picture of being a not painting a picture of being a judgmental jerk here. I bring my own set of problems to the marriage, but I want the best possible resolution here for our marriage. It really takes a toll on me. I feel like I can't love my wife the way she needs to be loved. Then I get depressed because I ask myself, how awful of a person that you just can't be intimate with your wife because of her looks. I can literally feel her pain when she tries to get intimate with me and I just shun her away. But please understand that it hurts me as much as in doing so. It's always been a visual thing for me, and apparently it's driving a wedge between us in bed these days. Oh, just fucking get a divorce. You know what'll happen? Once she gets rid of you, she'll lose that weight. The weight will just fall off, and she'll be attractive and get herself a man who truly loves her, not just loves the way that she looks. Because, people get older. People have kids. Their bodies change. People get sick. They get cancer. They get surgeries. They go through windshields. Stuff happens. But men like you, see, you're the kind of guy who, if something like that, some really catastrophic thing happened to your wife, you're so focused on what she looks like, you wouldn't be there for her. You're the kind that would abandon her if she had to have a mastectomy because of cancer to save her life for her kids. You're that kind of guy. You're shit, sir. You're absolute shit. And I hope she wakes up and I hope she leaves you. You're slowly destroying this woman. And you admit that you have problems too, but notice how you didn't talk about none of yours. All you talked about is her. And so, when a man really is acknowledging the problems in his relationship, he gives equal time to both sets of problems. That's not what you did. All you did was talk about her weight and how it makes you feel and what it don't do for your dick. That's all you talk about. You ain't shit. So I hope she leaves you. And I hope she takes everything, including the kids and all your money. That's what it be to be just what you deserve. Because you just a piece of shit. I know that wasn't the answer that you were hoping for, but guess what? I very often dash people's hopes on this channel because I just give it to you straight. I don't sugarcoat shit. Okay? And I can see what kind of man you are. You are just the worst of the worst. You there for the convenience for yourself. You are just an ain't shit motherfucker. That's what you are. Female, this is the last question of the day. Oh my God, I barely could get through this. I'm going to fix my stream settings so that when we come back on Thursday, it won't be like this. I will fix it. This is so horrible. Female 30 to 36 in Wichita, Kansas. My live-in boyfriend and I both come from struggling relationships that were ending and are both going through divorces at the moment. We have been together for almost a year, but have lived together for about 6 months. He has 2 adult children, and I have 1 adult child and 2 minor children. We decided to rent a home together. However, we are struggling to meet our bills. Almost all of my boyfriend's paychecks go to his soon-to-be ex-wife and young adult daughters who live with their mother. I'm proud that he takes care of his children regardless of their age, but my issue is his ex will not get a job. I've covered all of the bills in our relationship except some groceries since we have been living together. I get threats from the landlord and termination notices from the electric company because I just don't earn enough to pay for everything. Meanwhile, his soon-to-be ex-wife and kids have the rent paid, TV, phones, internet, electric bill, doctor bills, etc., all taken care of by my boyfriend. By the time he pays all of that, he doesn't have much to contribute to our expenses. I can't help but feel angry about this. He's now taking a second job to help us out, but I'm still upset about that. Why should his ex be allowed to sit at home with her kids and have everything taken care of while I work a job and my boyfriend works too? Am I wrong in feeling upset about this? I don't want to let my feelings cloud my judgment in this matter. I asked him to move his children in with us since his ex won't work, but his children refuse to meet me or my children. Girl, you stupid. You don't move his kids in with you. You have him move out. That's what you do. And that big house that you have for all to cover all these people, you downsize because you got an adult child and 2 minor children. Okay, you don't say what gender they are. So at the most, you need If the adult child lives with you, the most you need is 3 bedrooms. And so that adult child needs to be kicking down some money to help pay some of them bills. Living there, buying some groceries and stuff. But you kick dude out. And so all the stuff that he's doing, he should be paying half the rent, be buying half the groceries, paying whatever else you want him to pay, and then whatever he has left, he can give to them if he wants to. That's how that's supposed to go. You pay for where you are. You don't be trying to live off of some woman and go and giving your money to some other woman. So basically, he's pimping you. You the bottom bitch. And he's over there just, giving all his money to somebody else. You're stupid, ma'am. I can't believe nobody would be this desperate to have a man around that they would allow this kind of nonsense to go on under their roof. There's no way. I'd be like, you better give me $1,000 right now. And I would have my hand stuck out every time he got paid. I want $1,000. And if you don't give me $1,000, then get your shit and get the fuck out. That's what you need to do. I'm not going to be suffering and shit while you go and feed some bitch who want to sit on her ass. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, that's some old codependent stuff. Now, he wouldn't be in my house, not with me. He wouldn't be eating. Trying to eat, you buying groceries. I don't be buying groceries for me and my kids. And like I'm saying, you got an adult child. That person needs to have a job. And that person needs to be paying some of the bills in the house. You got somebody who's an adult. They should not be just living the life of Riley, living off their mama. That's not how things are done. Okay, that's most desperately um, teaching your child to be stupid and dependent. I'm telling you, this is rough. This was rough. This was rough. Whew. Okay, so tomorrow is a recorded show. It's called Emotional Labor. And it talks about the invisible work that women do to maintain families, relationships, personal relationships, as well as relationships at work. And basically, it's the setup of narcissists to get as much from you as possible while you think, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing as a woman. You feel like this is, I'm a natural nurturer. I'm a natural this. It's in my DNA or some shit they be telling y'all and stuff. It's not. It's just a pimp game. It's more pimp game to use you to get stuff out of you, and y'all be falling for it. So of course, you know me. I love to expose the games that men play. But this is not just men. These are, people at your job. I mean, and the expectations that women are going to be doing all this stuff. So that show is going to go live tomorrow. I think at 5:30. You can check the wall. And then on Thursday, like I said, I was going to do this femininity show, but I couldn't find any panelists, so we're going to move on. I'm going to do some things and try to play catch up on some of the questions and issues that I saw posted in some of the live stream chats and on the wall, on the channel wall and stuff. And we probably won't be here that long, but I'm going to do that live and talk about those things and try to get those people straight because they're very, very ultimately extremely confused. All right. This is Deb Cooper. Thank you for sitting in with me on What the Fuck Tuesday on what is this? This is our 18th day of the month, the 18th day of Debruary. And we got plenty more to coming. So I hope you guys hang with me. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber to this channel. And I'll check you guys out on Thursday. Bye bye.